Good evening, folks. Welcome to the Daily Dose of Dawn. Oh, today we are going to wrap up Andor. As you may have noticed, we're no longer calling it Hate Watch Edition. People seem to think Hate Watch is always negative, which I guess, I suppose I can understand why that is. So maybe we'll come up with something else, but for the most part, we are wrapping up Andor today. That is the important thing. Which, oh shit. Ugh. Playing some Mario Golf too, and you can see I just totally screwed up the first swing of the day. That's what I get for trying to just smoke my weed beforehand. Oh well. But yeah, Andor has been, well, first off, Andor has been like hard as all hell to make fun of. I mean, seriously, like other than the weird slapstick humor going into sexual assault thing they did in episode 3, and episode 2 being more or less just total filler. I mean, there's been nothing to really hate about this. There's like one scene in these 3 episodes, and we'll talk about it. That was really, really stupid. But, I mean, at least it's pointed out to her. Well, you'll see. But for the most part, holy crap. This is motherfucking Star Wars done well. Alright. Damn, take that. So, we start out. We are episode 10. It is BBY1. 1 year before the Battle of Yavin. Oh boy. Young, the Gluthen's mole in the ISB calls him for an emergency meeting. And Young has apparently gotten a hold of Dedra's secret clearance files. She got added to the signal chat. And friggin', yeah, they found out, oh shit, Dedra is coming for you, Luthen. And on top of that, the Empire is building this crazy fucking weapon. And it's connected to Gorman and Jeddah and all of this. Alright? Oh shit. So Luthen goes to Clea, his daughter. Alright? Tells her this message. Okay? And he's like, yo, you stay safe. I'll burn the evidence. In the meantime, Young is dead. Probably killed himself, I imagine. But Dedra comes in to Luthen's antique shop. And she is basically like, oh shit, I've been hunting you forever. And you've been here this whole time. Got this crazy vintage radio that I want you to take a look at. Oh, bam, been finding these all over the place. Now I know it's yours, bitch. And that's after a long, way too long conversation. That's when Dedra's like, oh, the building is surrounded. Hey, what's going on in the back there? Oh shit, you're destroying all of the evidence? Oh shit, you're killing yourself? Oh fuck. Maybe it was really, really retarded of me to fucking walk into this place by myself. Like, what was I doing? Why would I do this? Really, nothing about a character really even seemed like she should have done that I can tell. get that she really wanted to take down the Axis, but this is one of those situations where, like, you don't stop to talk. So they take Luthen off to the hospital. Alright? And most of the episode is a flashback to Luthen. First, he's in the army, there's fighting, and, like, he finds Clea in the ship and hides her. And then there's a little bit later on, like, they're all traveling around, and he says something like, you know, like, am I your daughter now? And he's like, when it's convenient. And basically that sort of shit. We also get to see the stormtroopers executing some people, so, you know, they're bam. And then there's a scene where they're gonna blow up a bridge, and Luthen makes her pull the trigger. Well, it doesn't make her do it, but gives her the choice of it. If we're gonna do it, you do it. And she makes the choice, and she blows up the bridge. Ow. Almost. One thing they see in here around the hospital is pretty cool, man, are the helmetless stormtroopers. They're like that in like the half armor. They kind of look like how you would imagine like SWAT team cops would, like halfway between police officer and fucking soldier. That was pretty cool. Alright. Well, yeah, so Clea decides to blow up the bridge in the flashback, making the choice. And then we get back to the regular time. Clea has worked her way into the hospital. There's a pretty funny scene where she grabs a patient who's like clearly sedated and not really knowing what the hell's going on. Like, and she's just like, I'm taking it back to her room. Let's get you back to bed, Grandma. I'm pretty sure that will become that. I've probably already seen it become a meme. Probably. But Clea works her way up to Luthen's room, and he pulls the plug. Or she pulls the plug on him. That is the end of episode 10. Alright. So, episode 11 is going to open up with, of course, the ISB out there trying to figure out, hey, what the hell happened? This ain't cool. Not at all. Oh, crap. Should have thought of that. Yeah. That's where you're supposed to not hit it as hard as you can. But okay, so... Oh. Alright. So, Dedra was arrested for going after Luthen without alerting Hurt. Whom I just learned his name in this episode, man. How bad I am about that shit, but... Alright, so she's in her cell now. And she, in the early episode, is visited by Krennic. Oh boy. I have to admit, as a character, Krennic has really grown on me. I don't know. I could use some more of him somehow. I don't know how, though. Seems to have done everything he needs to do. But he says to Dedra, he's like, yeah, I'm not here because of your screw up with this. What's the one word that can get me down here? The one thing that could drag me down here? I want to hear you say it. Death Star. Oh boy. Yep, that's right. So, Krennic lets her know that Young spent about 3 hours looking at her clearance friggin' her security clearance shit info, which included intel on the Death Star. Oh boy. Krennic seems to believe that Dedra was working with the rebels. Oh shit. And of course, Krennic does mention, he's like, well, this was pretty fucking stupid of you to confront Luthen alone. And he kind of destroyed all of the leads to follow up. So, I mean, yeah, you kind of really fucked up hardcore here, bitch. More or less. Krennic gets pretty handsy with Dedra too, man. I mean, it's a little. It has become a little confusing over the years. I know that, like, okay, so technically the Empire, they're like, they're human supremacists, you know. They don't like aliens, but they think humans are the best or some shit. So apparently that's why, like, these space Nazis have a lot of women and black people in, like, prominent positions. But still, nah, Krennic, once again, man, him too. He gets real handsy with fucking Dedra. Yeah. Alright. She is hauled off to her prison cell. We see Clea on the video. They get a picture of her, figure out who she is. They're all like, we're gonna find this bitch. And of course we see Clea. She sent out a message in what looked like Star Wars the Morse code. Probably like not actual Morse code, but like, you know, like I said, like the Star Wars version of it. Bam. So we go back to Andor and his crew over on Yavin playing cards. And we get a pretty cool scene where they keep fucking with the droid. You know, like, because the droid is. He's like literally like the opposite of a C3PO. The droid is actually pretty awesome. You know? Straight up. But there's a good one of them fucking with him while playing poker about how he's got a tell, but he can't possibly have a tell because, you know, it's great. Watch it. But Andor gets the message. And he realizes, oh shit, you know. It's from Luthen, and Luthen's an asshole, and I don't like doing for shit for Luthen anymore, but he's also my friend, and he's legit, like, hates the Empire and definitely wants out of this shit, so. So Andor's all like, we're going. Or at least I'm going. Alrighty. Oh, Leo and Krennic, they're discussing the Death Star for a little bit, and Krennic tells Leo, I am not going to be able to protect you from this. Oh, boy. Poor Leo. He didn't really fuck up that bad. Look at that. Alright, so Hurt heads over to Dedra in the prison, and he's like, "Yo, bitch, why is Krennic here? This seems a little bit below his pay grade. What is going on here?" Dedra doesn't really explain much to him. She probably can't because it's just going to get her in more trouble at this point. But she does tell him about the radios and how that's how they tracked him down the first time, and that's how to do it again. So Andor arrives, going to the apartment building where he thinks he's going to find Luthen. And the ISB are there as well. They are closing in. They shut down all the radios. And the droid's like, "Oh, fuck," because he's in the ship and he ain't got no communication. The droid watches the Imperials show up. Really cool looking shuttle. Really love the shuttle design in this, man. Straight up. I normally don't really buy like the Lego sets from like the new Star Wars. Straight up, but I would probably buy a shuttle from that. That shuttle is pretty cool looking. Because it's close, but it looks like an early version of the new one, or of the one from the original trilogy. Alright. Okay, then. So the troopers deploy. And Andor finds Clea instead of Luthen up in the room. And Clea tells them about the weapon. Still doesn't really tell them a whole lot. Just says, look, that there's a connection between Gorman, Jedha, and this weapon that they're building. They're still really vague. And we'll get into why after the end here. But alright. But yeah, and the name. This is also the name Galen Erso, or whatever the fuck his name was, the engineer from Rogue One. Alright, so the droid just ends up going in to the shuttle and smacking motherfuckers up. Pretty hardcore, you know. It really doesn't make a whole lot of sense that they leave the droid behind so much. Because yeah, the droid just motherfucks people up. All right, and then the troopers go in, but they're at the wrong room. And that is the end of episode 12 or 11. 11. Oh, alrighty, folks. Before we get into episode 12, like usual, I want to give a shout out to our sponsor, Dubby Energy Drink. Oh boy. Let's just get this going here in a second. Same elevation, so. Bam. Oh, just a little bit too good. Oh, no. Look at that. That wasn't bad. But I'll do a lot better here in a second. I'm an albatross if I had my dubby already. Here comes Waluigi. He ain't got no dubby. You can tell that. Let that fizz settle down for a few seconds while I take this shot. Oh, dang it. Alright, still got me a little bit of a birdie, so that's good. Oh, right, Ethan. Gonna use our super shot here. His goes straight across. I do have to remember that. Of course, you can also get one of these cool Dubby shakers. Solo leveling design. That's what I got. There you go. Now y'all see Waluigi there with his W-less strike. He won't be able to drive the ball as far as I can. And as always, folks, go to the link in the description of this video. Click on that link, use the promo code TDDD for the daily dose of Dawn, and get 10% off your order and help support the show. Alright? Alright, we'll get back to Star Wars here in just a second. Almost the same elevation with... Oh! With just regular spin, that probably would have been alright. What is this jerk doing? Oh, he just totally wasted his special shot. Oh, that's painful. If you're listening to this on Spotify, I just barely missed my putt. All right. Let's get back to it. So episode 12 opens up, and Andor is still hanging out in Clea's apartment, trying to convince her to leave. All right. Well, the troopers find him, so they got to go somewhere. They ain't got much choice at that point. Clea's knocked the fuck out. So actually, yeah, they end up escaping, carrying her out. The droid more or less saves them, and is like, yeah, so why the fuck was I left in the damn stupid friggin' left in the ship? Which, I mean, I have to have the same question myself, I'd be wondering. You know? he does more or less save their asses. Alrighty. So then we head back over to Yavin, and we get a scene with Saw Gerrera's crazy bitch ass talking to Mon Mothma, and basically like, Mon Mothma's like, yo, Saw, your craziness is like making shit hard for us. And Saw's like, yeah, well, fuck you and your soft bitch ass approach, bitch. So, yeah, it looked like they're getting along. And then, of course, they get word that the ship is approaching and it must be Andor. Would make sense because, you know. But they still give a pretty heavy-handed welcome. Nice little escort in. Alright. So Andor is then grounded. Told he can't fly nowhere. And Mon Mothma, well, basically, he tells Bail and Mon Mothma and all them people what Leia told him about there being the connection between the Gormans and the Jedi, and like, there's a big bad weapon out there coming. It's still not even really that much information, to be honest with you, but they're like, oh, do we believe it or not? Because Luthen's kind of an asshole. I mean, he's a jerk, and they disagreed on how to do this revolution thing, but I mean, he's not gonna like, feed us bullshit. But they could have been the Empire feeding him bullshit too. So, I mean, that kind of was legit what happened on Gorman. you know. All right. So they send in Vel to basically find out, hey, should we like believe him or whatever? And Vel talks to him, and Andor tells her like the story. This is downhill, way downhill, probably a lot downhill. So. This is probably, that might have been too hard, yeah. Oh. Oh, wow, that might have actually, oh, no, never mind. Alrighty, so we're back over, and the bunch of Imperial guys are all like, they come in to talk to Leo, who's listening to a speech or some shit. And they're like, we're here to bring you down, Leo. And Leo was like, can I have a second? Like, yep, sure. Then you hear the blaster. Yep, Leo killed himself. Probably saved him a little bit of trouble. I mean, he was pretty much either died or he was going to get killed by them. Still, man, sad. It doesn't seem like any of this was Leo's fault. He seemed like the practical guy. He's just like, man, yep, I'm just doing what the Empire wants me to do. Poor Leo. I felt bad for him. Alright, and then they get news of a Star Destroyer in Jeddah. And Bail and Andor have a little dialogue, and Bail gives Andor his newest orders. It's to head off and investigate, well, basically the guy from the beginning of Rogue One. Alright, they're like, we don't necessarily believe you, but we believe that it's worth looking into. Basically. Shit is starting to make sense. So we then get kind of a where are they now montage. Alright, poor Dedra is now in one of the prisons from season 1. The super clean, sanitary, white room prison. Like, shit. That sucks for her. I mean, she's a Nazi bitch, straight up, and like one of the craziest butterfaces I have ever seen. But goddamn, did she get kind of a fucked end? And then we are ended with Andor taking off. Now, as I said, he's heading to that see the guy from the beginning of Rogue One. Now, I was gonna say, I did watch Rogue One right after this, like a lot of people said they were gonna do, and I did. And I have to admit, number one, this made Rogue One as a movie like a million times better. I've probably only seen Rogue One maybe like twice. I watched it, son of a bitch, this is fucking putt is driving me nuts, but. I don't think I watched Rogue One in the. I know I didn't watch it in the theater. I don't think I watched it until streaming. So, like, the Vader scene was kind of ruined for me at that point, so I remember not being all that impressed with that. Like, I remember being kind of pissed because I was like, oh, I'd already seen all of that. Oops. But I also just remember not. It's hard to pay attention to it because I didn't know anything about any of the characters then. I didn't even know Saw Gerrera. I think I watched Rogue One maybe on Disney Plus before I watched Clone Wars even. So I didn't even really know about that guy much. Oh. But yeah, definitely. This Gilroy guy, he needs to be doing more Star Wars. People are trying to say he's better than Filoni, but I'd still say Filoni stuff is fine. It's like whatever the fuck the Acolyte was and the sequel trilogy crap that needs to not happen anymore. I mean, straight up. I don't know, Mandalorian season 3 was pretty weak, but they had to wrap it up, and they clearly didn't want Baby Yoda to be in it, and then it had to be in it. So I don't know. Overall, though, friggin' yeah, 5 stars for Andor, man. You guys made making fun of you very, very hard. Like there was only, like I said, there was the slapstick humor in this third episode. Like I've been upside down for 2 days in fucking in space where you're not really upside down ever. And then we go from that to sexual assault. That was weird. And then, like I said, there's this scene where Dedra just decides to be totally retarded and go after Luthen by herself. Those are like the only holes. Other than that, bravo, Disney. Alrighty, folks. That is probably gonna do it for the Spotify edition of this. Of course, I have said this like twice, and then the last 2 times, both times accidentally posted the YouTube version on Spotify. But if I do it right this time, this will do it for the Spotify version. As always, keep up to date with what's going on with your daily dose of Dom. And if you want to see how the last 3 holes go out, check me out on YouTube. See you then. Alright, folks. It's time for the daily dose of Dawn. Dawn After Dark. Dawn After Dark edition. Woo! Of course, before I forget again, folks, if you were listening to this on YouTube, be sure and you click that subscribe button. If you're watching this on TikTok, hit that follow button. If you were watching this on Spotify, but hopefully you're not hearing this on Spotify and I did it right this time, But go over to Spotify, click that follow button. I appear to have 6 very loyal Spotify listeners. Let's get some more of those. You can listen to it on your drive to work, and then you can watch the YouTube version when you get home on the TV. I mean, like, that's what I would do if I was you. You know? You've got to study this. Oh. Alrighty then. Let's see if somebody. What are you doing that for, Waluigi? Eesh. Gave me a hell of a birdie putt here. It is uphill. I gotta go way over power for this. And. Oh. Oh, don't go over the bunker. Okay, cool. You didn't go over the bunker. Alright. Bam! Into the chipper. Bam! Chip in with me. Charging Chuck chips it in. Good job, Charging Chuck. Hole 17 with a par 4. And just enough to charge it up for one more super shot. Oh, I'm going to hit the tree. Oh, no. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. Bam, come on. Oh, oh, oh. Oh, Waluigi, you suck. And Chuck takes the birdie. Alright, we got one more hole. I think it's safe to say I will be taking this one. Okay, might as well, yeah. Bam. I still could take it for an albatross, so yeah. Luigi is showing great technique like a jerk. Oh, fuck. Alright, almost same elevation. shoot this, but I hope not. Yeah, I am definitely by a lot. Yeah, well, not a lot, actually. Oh, that's not terrible. Oh, baloney. You with your ego. I'm still like quite a lot ahead of you. 6 points ahead of you. So fuck you. With your ego. Alrighty, folks. Hope you enjoyed my domination of Mario Golf today. And remember, folks, the revolution will be televised, and it will be right here on the Daily Dose of Dawn.